and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackey and Judd.
I'll admit, we had that produced, to say goodbye to the Rami intro. Rami, now you can find 2 to 6 on the Fan in Milwaukee.
4-hour show. He's crazy.
Yeah. What lunatics
What
would do
you
a 4-hour show?
I always told this company I'm never doing a 4-hour show.
Throw a game show Friday in there, and it just causes hell. Yeah.
And so we had this intro produced before Judd finished the season with a 400 batting average. Otherwise, we would have made mention of Ted Williams, Judd Zolgad, Ted Williams in there. Maybe we can get
I
it
just like
reproduced.
the up tempo. I mean, that is a really aggressive, comes in strong intro.
Like coming in hot. So if you're new, this is how Write That Down works. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs, and we bring listeners into the show every single week to make their own predictions. If you want to be part of the extravaganza, you can just DM me or Declan. I should put his handle on here too. At Phil Mackey or at Dex's Tweets on Twitter, and we'll get you scheduled in. And we've been doing this segment for like 5 years or so. We've kept official statistics for 3 seasons. And so at the end of the accountability session, I have some all-time statistics that I think you guys will enjoy, some counting stats that go back to the beginning of the 2018 Write That Down season. But we are the only show in America that actually keeps track of our predictions, holds each other accountable, batting averages and home runs. And we've spun off now, also on Wednesdays, a football and Vikings-centric edition of Write That Down. It doesn't preclude us from also making Vikings and football predictions in Mackey and Judd Write That Down, but we've just expanded the franchise to Purple Daily on Wednesdays as well. So if you want to be part of either one of those, hit me up, hit Dex up on Twitter. Our DMs are open, and we'll get rocking. You guys ready for an accountability session here?
Yeah.
Depends. Okay. Go ahead.
Yep.
Judd had a nice hot start to the first week of the season, going 3 for 3. Wasn't necessarily the case here.
Hey, you know what? It's a long season. 0 for 2 is going to happen.
Well, you predicted Jordan Greenway would be traded this offseason.
I came close.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I came close.
They floated him a couple times, right?
And then my home run prediction. Make sure you mentioned that. That was a home run, though.
This might have been a forced home run prediction. I don't know. But you said Kevin Stefanski will be fired after his first season as Browns head coach. And now, technically, that could still happen, I guess. But
and keep in mind,
we're just going to take it off.
I made that prediction, I think, right after he got hired, too. I think it was March.
Yeah, he's the greatest
All right,
coach.
it's a long season.
History,
season. Even Teddy Ballgame grounded out to short a couple times.
Well, they shifted him, so grounding out to short
Lou
would be
Boudreaux.
tough for Teddy Ballgame.
Lou Boudreaux did.
All right, let's get to my predictions here.
Oh.
I told you guys, actually, this first one, this is from last week. I forgot to delete that one.
That's okay.
So I'm not going to dock myself twice. I told you guys that there would be a credible report of Auburn having interest in PJ Fleck by the time they hire their next head coach. I did a search. There were some blogs that were sort of throwing his name in, but it wasn't like a report. It was, like he could move at some point, but it wasn't sourced.
Gotcha.
So ordinarily, I would try to push that as a correct answer, but it just wouldn't. It wasn't going to hold up.
No, not in this court.
Nope. Not this court.
Not in this court.
It's a very noble court.
Take your case to Washington. Perhaps they'll hold it up for you.
The listeners had a few predictions.
Yep.
Paul P. said Dean Evison will not be the Wild head coach at the beginning of the next season. Brother Liam, your brother Liam Dex said there would be no returning captains for the Wild next season.
That's
so that
right.
means captain and assistant captains,
Correct.
right? So that's wrong.
He's on the schedule here for a couple weeks to redeem himself. So.
He is. Yep. Early February.
Yeah.
And our friend Rami, so what I'm doing with the listeners, I'm taking, if we've got leftover predictions from like Rami and Jonathan.
Throw
and
them on
Maddie,
the listener. Oh, wow.
Well, they don't have enough to like accumulate.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like Rami only has like 10 at bats left.
You know what? I'm
so.
just saying, if I'm a listener, I'm a little bit upset right now.
Well, Rami
I'm
is
taking his flack.
Rami is now a listener as well. And he has a couple predictions that might actually work well for the listeners. And he predicted PJ Fleck would take the Michigan job after the 2020 season. Well, Harbaugh just got an extension. So. And by the way, for predictions like these, I almost think we need a new rule here, or at least a discussion. Like if someone says PJ Fleck will take the Michigan job after the 2020 season, technically That's an open-ended prediction that lives on until either PJ Fleck takes a Michigan job or dies.
Right.
So we almost need, like, if someone makes a prediction like after the season, blah, blah, blah happens.
Oh, no, I
then
think
the deadline has to be like
After
by
the
the next season or
Yes,
something.
absolutely.
Correct.
Okay. So we'll just kind of
Absolutely.
know that going in. So Rami doesn't get to sit this one out until PJ's 90 and on his deathbed. Maybe he'll still coach Michigan. Or maybe he
Larry
has
Brown.
pneumonia.
It's the Larry Brown rule, baby. Still out there.
Yeah, Judd has a prediction from like 5 years ago. Larry Brown will coach again.
Yep.
Well, he hasn't yet, but he's still alive.
I'm there.
But he made it through
So-
2020, so that's a victory for me.
How old is Larry Brown?
He's got to be 80, right? Hold on a second. I'll
Do
look it
coaches
up
get
while you're
hired
going.
after 80? Besides Dick LeBeau. Dick LeBeau is going to be a defensive coordinator, just like from the
If
from a
any coach
nursing home.
would, it would be Larry Brown.
And he never stays anywhere longer than like
Oh,
3
hell,
years, right?
Hell no. No. He burns and churns and gets up.
He is 80. He just
Yep.
turned 80 in
Nin-
September.
September 14th, 1940.
There's still a chance. He could take
There's
some
a chance.
small college jobs.
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
Oh.
Heck yeah.
Will coach again.
Declan Goff. You had a bad week as well.
Hmm.
In fact, I don't think any of us had any correct predictions. You
There's
said
no hits.
the Timberwolves will snap their losing streak on Thursday with a win over the Trailblazers.
Hmm.
They got smoked in that game.
Hmm.
They were down by like 35.
Hmm.
Washington will knock off Tampa Bay in the wild card round. It almost happened. And I need a ruling on this one.
Yeah, I'm a little confused.
So you said neither Alex Stalock or Devin Dubnyk will be on the Wild's opening night roster when the 2021 season starts.
Mm-hmm.
Their roster still includes Alex Stalock, who's going to, I don't think he's officially on injured reserve yet because the season hasn't started, but he will just be placed on injured reserve.
Yeah, so he's on the
He
team.
is on the roster to start the season. He's just on injured reserve.
Correct.
So that's an incorrect prediction because he's on the roster. Now, where Declan might fight is, well, no, I meant like the active 2021 opening night roster.
Right.
But you got to say that.
Opening
then.
night roster.
But then you got to say.
But he is on the roster.
but
He's just not going to be active.
If you had said that, then you're right. But you didn't say that.
like I'm trying to think of a Viking example. Like Jeff Dugan used to be on the Vikings roster, the 53, but he wasn't always among the 45 active players on game day. But he's still on the roster.
Correct. So if Dex had said that Stalock was not going to be in the opening night roster
Or lineup.
then he's correct.
Open night lineup would have been because roster is what.
But
I
the
said.
season, he's on the roster. He's just going to be placed on IR.
Okay,
Okay.
just to see how much of a screw job this is for Declan. When you made this prediction, were you making it with the idea that Alex Stalock had an injury, or were you making it with the idea that he would just be gone?
I figured he would not make the team, and Kappa was going to make the team.
Okay.
And this
So you were trying to get by in a technicality
and
here.
this was like I made this in
Yeah.
August or September.
And now he's got some. Do
So
we know
he's-
what the upper body injury
No,
is
we
with
do
him?
not.
No.
We do
Just
not.
a mystery.
No speculation,
Um,
but nothing concrete.
I do have a one to bring to the committee that maybe unless there's another page of Declan notes that come up here.
Nope, that's it. It's all the
Because I'm pretty sure I said in like week 4 that Justin Jefferson would be a first or second team All Pro, which would have been would have been a home run.
You did. Yep, that was. And you're right.
So that-
You said it in week 4.
Yeah, I said it early in the season. It wasn't when he was popping off.
So that counts for last year's batting average. You're right. You did say that.
Okay,
I skimmed past it and forgot that happened.
you're good.
So
Elf
you
never forgets.
you get a point. We'll go back and adjust your last year's batting average. The question is that a home run? I don't know if we ever decided in the moment.
I think I remember the moment you guys said it was a home run, but I'm not gonna.
I don't know. I think
I said it pretty early.
It's close.
Maybe it was like towards the bye week or so. No, it was before the bye week because the bye week by then he was popping off.
we
It's
need to
close.
find when you said it.
Yeah.
We'll do a deep dive into this. We'll
Yeah,
investigate
this feels
Okay,
like
we'll
it must go offline. Put a pin in that.
Okay,
and let's get back
we'll
to
throw
this.
a pin in that. So
Okay.
here are the 2021 season stats. Judd Zulgad still has a 600 batting average to start the season.
Wow.
It's
Still
early.
early.
A lot of
It's
fluctuation
so
there.
early right now.
Listeners are batting 250, and Declan and myself do not yet have a hit. No home runs on the season for anybody. And a new category here just for fun. We won't necessarily do this every single week, but here are career stats since 2018. The batting average thing is a little hard. I'm working on how to tally that because it's just my spreadsheet system is a little
And
bit
you got
wackadoo.
walks and hit by pitch
Right.
and official at bats.
But I can tell you that Judd Zulgad is the career write that down leader with 143 hits since the beginning of 2018.
Rod Carew, baby.
The Pete Rose of Write That Down.
That's all.
I have 112 hits, but I have the most home runs. I have 10 home runs. Judd has 8 home runs.
Surprising pop from you. Good pop.
I don't know if it's surprising.
You got a lot of pop.
It's just standard expected pop from me. Listeners have 89 hits and 9 home runs, and Declan in his first season with 31 hits and a couple of home runs, possibly a third home run there too. We'll go back and review it. So that's where Write That Down stands going into another season here, 2021. And like we said earlier, we bring listeners in every single week to participate and take their swings. And so let's get our guy Tony in here. Tony, are you ready to knock some dirt off your cleats and swing for the fences?
I am ready to swing for the fences, guys.
Awesome. So here's how this is going to work. You're going to go first, and then we're going to go Judd, Declan, Phil. We're going to make 3 trips around the room. Predictions must be quantifiable. Otherwise, that's pretty much the only rule. You can predict. It can be sports. It can be movies. It can be predictions about Judd's beer drinking. Literally anything goes here.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
So Tony, what's your first prediction?
All right, first prediction. I'm going to get this one off the board because after the national championship game, I feel like you guys could go with this one. So I'm going to say 5 quarterbacks will be selected in the top 13 picks in the NFL draft this year.
Ooh.
Wowza.
That's a home run if that happened.
Hell yeah.
I can see it happen.
I'm swinging for the fences.
I like it.
There's a lot of teams that are. There's some teams like the Lions could draft a quarterback too.
So who are the 2 besides?
Yeah. Well,
our guy from BYU,
the top
BYU kid.
Trey Lance.
Trey Lance is 4.
Mac Jones.
Trey Lance, and then Mac Jones. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think we're gonna make him.
And I could see teams like
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, Judd, you're up next.
All right. The Timberwolves will have at least 1 game postponed and or moved to another date because of COVID. We're seeing problems, and I think we're now getting more and more NBA games delayed and postponed, blah, blah, blah. So the Wolves will have at least 1 game postponed and or moved to another date because of COVID.
Okay.
All right.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Fair enough. All right. Declan Goff.
My Juan Pierre single here. The Minnesota Wild will win their season opener. Judd, you didn't make that prediction last week, did you?
I don't think so.
I don't think you did. I think you had like first goal.
Yep, I did. Zach Parise will score the Wild's first goal last week.
So I'm just going to say the Wild will win their season opener. I just need my first hit of the season. So
write this down. Write it down. You like
I'm
writing
playing the
things
Kings,
down.
so I swear to if they don't win, it's going to be
Hockey's pretty random though.
It is a little
it's
random.
It's not a
Game
gimme.
1, Declan.
Yeah.
Fire everybody. Fire
Judd's
Dean
hockey show.
Evison.
You'll hear it. You'll hear our reactions.
Fire everybody.
All right, write this down. I'm going to put my money where my mouth is here off our Andrew Wiggins discussion. I'm going to go with an advanced stat that I love that I think encapsulates how good players actually are. Andrew Wiggins will finish outside the top 150 players in NBA win shares. And according to Basketball Reference is where I'm looking at this stat. So he will, despite the heist that the Warriors have pulled, according to all the Bay Area media, and the fleece job that Andrew Wiggins is breaking out with the Warriors, no. He'll finish outside the top 150 in NBA win shares. He'll get enough playing time to qualify, but it ain't going to happen. Sorry.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, back to Tony. Your second prediction.
All right, second prediction. I'm going to go with a salary cap prediction. Everybody's been talking about how it's going down. I'm going to say that it's still going to go up. I'm going to say it's going to go up at least $7 million this year. I just don't think that the NFLPA will allow it. What's that?
No, keep going. Keep going.
Oh, no, I just don't think the NFLPA will get on board with it going down. You'll have guys that maybe shouldn't be getting cut just to free up cap space. Obviously, it limits the free agent market and who can go where. I just don't see it happening. So I'm going to say that it's actually still going to go up.
All right. So Tony says, and I believe he said up $7 million So
Yep.
it'll go up by at least $7 million, is what he said, in 2020.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Back to Judd. And we have a little bit of a delay between us and Tony. And so I'll stop starting when we get their prediction. That's 100% my fault. Judd.
Write that down. Prediction number 2 for me. The Colorado Avalanche will win the Stanley Cup.
Ooh, that's
As we start the National Hockey League season, the Colorado Avalanche will be your Stanley Cup champion.
Where are they in the, I don't know if you've looked at sports books. Are they the favorite?
They're like top 3.
So I would say it's still,
they're a favorite.
Predicting the Stanley Cup champion at the beginning of a season is always a home run.
That takes big cojones.
It does. Takes a 400 hitter. Takes a Ted Williams type.
Sam Cassell, baby.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, next prediction. Cam Talbot will make at least 30 saves in Thursday's opener against the Kings. 30 saves for Cam Talbot.
I like how you're going for the immediate.
At least 30 saves.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't pin yourself on 30, my man.
By the way, we've been getting some complaints on the Score North YouTube channel, and we've been posting near daily videos that I hit the rock button too much.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
During this segment. So I'm trying to decide, should I just keep hammering it anyways, or should I scale back?
We're getting
for the
complaints
people?
about that?
Yeah, they're just like, why do you guys hit so many buttons all the time? I don't know, because it's fun.
Because you like to.
We have a button bar.
It's because Phil likes to hit buttons, folks. You figured that one out yet?
Yeah, there's just buttons over here. I don't know. So, all right. I'm gonna stick with something I said earlier in the show here to Dane Moore. The Timberwolves are really good with they're relatively good with Karl Anthony Towns in the lineup, and they just everything gels better. In the game, write this down. In the games that Karl Anthony Towns plays in, the Timberwolves will finish at least 500 in those games. I think they are 2-1 in those games right now.
They are.
They won the first 2, and then they narrowly lost in overtime.
Correct.
So they've been very competitive.
They'll be at least 500.
At least 500 in the games in which Karl Anthony Towns plays.
And he's supposed to play tonight against Memphis.
So they're going to win. That means that's not verbally binding. All right, back over to Tony. Your final swing, Tony. Go ahead.
Oh, we lost Tony.
Oh,
he just fell.
Okay.
He just fell off the screen.
Had a bad feeling.
Let's do this because you got his contact info.
Yeah.
Actually, he's jumping back in here. We'll get him at the end here. Judd, go ahead.
He's back right. He's back. I'll text him.
All right. My final write that down prediction for this week. Alex Ovechkin will lead the NHL in goal scoring this season with 30 or more in the 56 games.
Okay.
So Ovechkin will lead the National Hockey League in goal scoring for 2021 with 30 or more goals.
Okay. Ovi.
Cover my butt.
Going for it all there.
For sure.
All right. And Dex, we'll go you, me, and then we'll catch up with Tony at the end here.
You got
for
it.
his last one. So
All
go
right.
ahead.
I have a WWE prediction here, and this is a home run. Alexa Bliss will win the Women's Royal Rumble. So I've been trying to do some research here of like which women's wrestler can win the Royal Rumble, because I feel like all of them have really achieved that feat or they've been pushed over. And what they're doing with Alexa and having her like with The Fiend, she's never won the Royal Rumble. Like Charlotte Flair won it last year.
Mm-hmm.
Some people think it could be Rhea Ripley. Like Rhea Ripley's one of the odds-on favorites to win it, who was the NXT champion going into Mania last year. But they haven't pushed Alexa Bliss completely over, and what she's doing with The Fiend, I think, is super unique. And with no crowd too, she's gonna like come in all spooky like, and I feel like she's gonna win the Royal Rumble.
Judd, your analysis on what Declan just said.
He might as well have said it in French. I have no idea what he just said. Like he might as well have been talking in tongues. The Exorcist. I don't know what you just said.
It's not Bailey. It's not going to be Charlotte. Becky Lynch had a baby a month ago. She ain't coming back.
We should have a segment where Declan gives like a 60-second professional wrestling piece of analysis, and then Judd has to figure out, did he make that all up or was it actually true?
Although you both would be very impressed that on YouTube last night, I watched the 2007 storyline of Vince's limo being blown up.
Wow.
Because I came.
Wow, dude.
Because I came. Because it surfaced that Trump called WWE the next day and
Thought
said
that it was real.
Is Vince okay?
Yeah.
And he thought he was dead. So I'm like, what the hell is that? So I watched it, and then I found out more about how the storyline itself fell apart quickly. It's really interesting.
Yeah. So that's one of the most amazing like 2-week stretches in WWE history.
Yeah.
So they had this angle where like Vince was down on his luck or something, and then he walked into this limo and The limo blows up to end Monday Night Raw, and it was just left with, oh my God, did they just kill off? They just killed off Vince McMahon. They just killed him off the show. And then a few days later, or I think it was the next Sunday, they had a pay-per-view or something. And that was the Chris Benoit murder, suicide. He killed his family.
And yep.
And so so 1 week after they killed off Mr. McMahon, this huge like real life tragedy takes place. And Vince opens the Monday Night Raw the week after in the middle of the ring saying, some things are storyline, like what happened in the limo last week, and some things are not. Yeah. The Chris Benoit thing is not. They had to tell the audience because they just faked the death of one of their top stars.
And they blew up his car. So it turned out had filmed it like a week before, but then to make it plausible, they actually blew up another car live.
Yeah.
So fans walked out and like would see like there was a car blown up.
This happened.
Think about that.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right. My final prediction.
Oh my God.
It's a parlay. It's a Corey Kluber parlay.
Ooh.
The Minnesota Twins will sign Corey Kluber before the season starts, and he will start either game 1 or 2. He will start either game 1 or 2 in the Twins rotation.
Oh, that's a home run, baby.
I think so,
I don't
too,
know.
man.
That's for sure a home run.
Seniority. I think they're going to look at him and say, all right, yeah, he's back. I think Maeda goes game 1. This is all just me off the record. And then I think they're going to go Kluber game 2 and Jose Barrios game 3.
No, it's binding. If Barrios game 3, you're screwed.
He looks cooked. That's a home run.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That's a
Tony, your final prediction. Fire away.
All right. This is a 3-parter, so kind of follow along with me here. One of them you guys are not going to like one bit, but I'm going to say in the offseason, Harrison Smith will receive a contract extension to lower his salary cap number. Kirk Cousins will also restructure his deal, adding on another year. That's the part that you guys are not going to like. And this all ties in. All that salary cap space will be used on either Joe Thuney or Brandon Scherf in the offseason. So they will sign one of those two guys.
That is that's a monster home run.
It is a monster home run. I wouldn't allow the Cousins extension because they've got to they have to. His cap number is 31 million.
Gotta smooth it out, baby.
Keep smoothing it out.
That's a great
smoothing it out. Yep. And on another year, lower that cap number.
Tony, since you have this platform right now, is there anyone in your life that you would like to thank that got you to this point?
Well, one of my good buddies is an avid listener of the show, so I'll give a shout out because I'll know he'll actually listen and hear. So I'll give a shout out to my buddy John Rumpel. I'll see you at work today. Thanks for sticking by with me through this rough Viking season.
Right on, man. All right, Tony. Great job.
See you.
All right.
We'll see how your predictions play out.
Good stuff.
Thanks for coming on.
Write this down.
All right, and that's how we do it. On Write That Down. 3 predictions. Most of them are probably going to be wrong, except for Judd's, who is the all-time leader in hits with 140.
Noted wrestling aficionado Judd Zolgan.
God,
we need to give Judd a list of YouTube wrestling rabbit holes to go down. I mean,
they're great. They're fun to watch.
Should we give him the one where Mae Young gives birth to a hand?
That's a pretty good one.
Actually, give me 5. Like 5 things.
Let's do it right now.
Okay.
We'll get Royce on here in a second.
Yeah.
By the way, Write That Down, also available not only on Apple, Spotify, scorenorth.com as part of Mackey and Judd, but if you want to actually see us in our faces in the segment, just subscribe to youtube.com/scorenorthmn and youtube.com/Purple Daily Podcast.
So they didn't tell Trump that basically, hey, Vince is going to look like he died, but he's not dead.
Well, I don't even know why Trump. I think it's just because those guys were friends at the time, right?
Trump
was involved in a couple storylines.
Yeah,
back
I was about
then.
to say. I was
in fact, I think Trump was in a storyline the week before they blew up the car.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
So I think he was watching for his own pleasure from the fact that he had been in the storyline, and so he saw Vince die, and I think he was very upset.
The hair versus hair match, Donald Trump versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania. I think that has to be on there.
That's right. Vince had his head shaved.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want, why don't you do you're already kind of in that era. So if you want to do
No, hold on a second. I'm write these.
Well, the Montreal screw job is one that you 100%.
Send these to me. I like this idea.
So Montreal screw job. I'm trying to think of how far back we could go here, Dex. You know what? The NWO, the formation of the NWO would be a good one.
Yep. That'd be fine.
What are you looking for here?
Yeah.
Are you looking for
I'm looking for juicy, good, funny storylines.
Okay.
So like it does not have to be a great match, but just a good storyline.
Something DX related. I'm trying to think.
Like
what
back
would
when
be-
they had good storylines, because it sounds like now they suck.
Yeah.
I mean, could we do the one like Chris Jericho where Shawn Michaels was like down on his luck and poor and Chris? Do you remember that storyline?
That was JBL and Shawn Michaels. I thought.
I think they did it a couple different
Oh.
times. They might have done it a third
They went
or
back
fourth
to that
time.
well.
Oh my god!
All right, we'll give you a list.
All
We'll
right.
give you a list,
We
and
can
we'll
come up
we
with
can
this.
maybe do it on tomorrow's show.
Beautiful.
Sounds good. All right, write that down.
Write it down.